Hello everyone, my name is Venerable Michael Wiratamo, and today we are going to be going over the first part of our two-part series on Move Outside, Still Inside. We will be covering the 5 key factors to success using the Middle Way meditation method. This is a re-recording of a live session that we did with the Georgia Meditation Center, which did not produce such a good recording, so we want to give you better quality for your reference. So, without further ado, we'll go over the goals of the curriculum. So today, what you want to get from this course is a clear understanding of the correct method. Also, you want to be able to improve your meditation experiences. And finally, you want to have the ability to move through life with increased stillness. Now, this means just being able to approach and overcome the obstacles that you see in your daily life with a little bit more ease, with a little bit more mental clarity, and also being able to have better control and awareness of your own emotions. So hopefully, by the end of this course, if you apply what you learned, you will be able to do all of these things. So we'll go over the 5 key factors to success in meditation. They are willingness, comfort, mindfulness, consistency, and observation. Now, these 5 factors actually come from the best meditators in our temple, and they have originally, they were in Thai, and they've been translated by my teaching monk into English, and so I am simply the messenger delivering this to you. I did not create these things. They have been compiled and refined by some very experienced meditators. And so now I'll go over the corresponding terms in Thai that they originate from. So for willingness, samak jai, sabai, sati, samam sama, and sanget. So now we will go over the first of the 5 factors for success, which is willingness, or in Thai, samak jai. So willingness is a natural first place to start because you need to be willing to practice in order to see any type of results or benefits in your life. So it's very important as you're starting to clearly define your why power, or why you are doing what you are doing. And this is crucial, and if you've ever done any self-development, you'll have probably come across this term, why power. Now, something that's very helpful in creating a proper why power is to research the possible benefits of meditation. And nowadays, it's really helpful for your own peace of mind to know that you are putting time into something that is worthwhile if it is validated by science. And meditation, luckily, has been in the public eye, in the public interest, long enough so that there have been plenty of scientific research done on it. And you can research the neuroscience that talks about things such as neuroplasticity, which builds connectivity in certain hemispheres or parts of the brain. And it also builds gray matter as well. So there's countless research that you can do to really just explore what's possible, whether that's your physical benefits or the scientific benefits or the emotional benefits from the stories of other people and the testimonials of how meditation has changed other people's lives. This will give you a good idea of where you can start to think about your own personal reasons. So once you do that, what you can do is an exercise that's going to help you more deeply explore your own very personal reasons for wanting to practice meditation. And so this exercise requires you to get some writing material and sit down for about 10 or 15 minutes and just free write. Free write meaning don't worry about how it sounds, don't worry about if it's really something that's all that important. Just write whatever comes to your mind of potential benefits in your life that you could derive from a practice of meditation. And so what you can do is you can write about where you want to be as a result of meditation, or what benefits you could see in your life. And then you can also write about the suffering that will continue in your life, or that might progressively get worse if you do not meditate and bring more mental clarity and control of your own emotions into your life. And what this can do is getting your fear of where you don't want to be behind you, pushing you forward, and a goal of where you want to be in front of you, pulling you forward. And in this way, you can create the strongest, most personal type of willingness and really create a why power that will help you overcome the obstacles that you're invariably going to face along the way. Because as you start to better yourself, as you start to work on your mind, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be trying to pull you off the path. So having that strong why power will fuel your willpower. And as Friedrich Nietzsche says, he who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how. So this is a very good place for you to start and create a strong why power. So now we will go over the two types of willingness. We have created willingness as well as natural willingness. Your why power is actually going to fall under the created willingness category. However, I think it's the most crucial and the strongest form of created willingness, so I think it deserved its own slide. That's why we talked about it separately. However, in addition to having a strong why power, you can do a number of things such as spending time with Kalyanamit, which is a Thai phrase that means virtuous friend. And so what is a virtuous friend? A virtuous friend is somebody who is going to constantly be delivering you inspiration in the form of inspirational information, books, videos, or just encouraging words and advice in order for you to align yourself with your highest self, to align yourself with your most virtuous self that treats others in a compassionate, empathetic way, that does good things, wholesome things for themselves and for others. And they're not necessarily going to be somebody that always just tells you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear in order to be in the best possible place in your life, mentally, emotionally, physically. So this type of person isn't going to be the type of person that you just go out and have fun with, per se. Maybe just going out to concerts or going out to bars or things like that. They aren't going to help fuel your self-destructive tendencies or habits. So this type of friend is not very easy to find, actually. I know before I started meditating, I didn't have many, if any, of these friends. However, you can find these type of people as you start to develop your spirituality more, as you start to visit places where such people visit, such as the Georgia Meditation Center or any local or a yoga class, things like that, places where people are going to develop themselves. And as you start developing yourself spiritually, you are going to become a person that virtuous people want to hang around. So naturally, on this process, you will attract more of these people in your life. Now, there's a saying that you are a product of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And this is absolutely true, especially when it comes to a meditation practice. So you want to spend time with good people as well as avoiding association with bad examples, the types of people who are constantly asking you to come out and do possibly fun but self-destructive things that where you have to spend a lot of money, you're possibly going out and consuming intoxicants, things of that nature. You really just want to try to avoid these people, the people who gossip, the people who are constantly talking about others in a negative way. And because you can be sure that if they will talk to you about someone, they will likely talk to others about you behind your back. So it's important to surround yourself with the right people. So another helpful thing is to talk to more experienced meditators. So smart people learn from their own mistakes and their own experience, whereas wise people learn from the experience of others. So this can be very helpful, especially in meditation. And again, you can find these types of people at the Georgia Meditation Center or any local meditation center. Or you can even go online and look up popular spiritual YouTubers or something like that. And in this way you can ask questions. You can try to emulate the things that they did well that led to success or progress in their meditation. And you can also try to avoid the pitfalls or the things that held them back in their practice. So this is absolutely helpful, definitely a helpful tool to talk to more experienced meditators. Another thing you can do is read or listen to Dhamma, or Dharma is the Sanskrit equivalent, which most people are more familiar with, or other inspirational material. You can find plenty of this on YouTube, on Google, things of that nature. Share these things with others, and they in turn will share them with you. Then also finally we have natural willingness, and this comes as a result, or it comes from seeing the results of consistent practice. So once you start to feel a sense of calm that pervades your entire day, or a better awareness or control of your emotions, this is going to inspire you to continue to practice. So created willingness no longer becomes as necessary. You may still need to reconnect with those things, but it won't be as necessary to give you that push in order to practice. So next we have comfort, or in Thai it's called sabai. So for our purposes, we will define comfort as the feeling of complete contentment with your current state of being. Something similar to this cat right here, resting in between a pair of pears. A pair of pears. Yes, it looks very comfortable. So that's, we don't want to fall asleep, of course, in meditation. However, being content with wherever we are at the moment as we sit for meditation is crucial for creating comfort. So here are some of the steps to contentment. So you want to accept the initial contentment or the initial comfort that you feel, whether that's your mental comfort or your physical comfort of your body. You can't start from where you want to be. You have to start from where you are. So become aware of your mental and physical condition, and then accept that and move forward from that point. You don't want to wait for a more comfortable feeling. It's something, meditation is something that is going to make you feel better anyway. So you might as well just start from where you are and reap the benefits after your practice. And do not compare your comfort to that of others or to the comfort you had in past sessions. So this is this is very important to let go of comparisons to others and comparisons to the past. You want, again, you have to start from where you are, and your mind and body are going to be different from day to day. They're going to be different due to numerous factors, so you can't expect every session to start in the same way or to happen in the same way, because they won't. Your mind and your body are constantly changing, so we have to be aware of that and accept them and be content wherever we are. So the next, the first type of comfort is body comfort. And there are a number of things that we can do in order to maximize our body comfort. The first is our sitting position. So for your sitting position, you can either be sitting on a chair or on a mat on the floor. However, if the mat on the floor is not comfortable for you, if your knees are seizing up or whatever the case may be, sit on a chair. You don't need to force yourself. Again, comfort is key. So finding the proper balance of comfort is very crucial for your continued success in meditation. But whether you're on a chair or whether you're on the floor, you want to have a relatively straight back. You want to have the crown of your head reaching upwards, not drooping forward. And then also you want to, the reason you want to have a straight back is so that the discs in your spine align and your bones are supporting your weight as opposed to your muscles, which will cause a lot of tension, especially when you're slouched like this. So you want to have a straight back. You want to roll your shoulders back a bit. Not too much, not overarched, because then you'll create tension in your lower back. Again, you find the middle way. So, and it also helps to have your hips elevated a little bit to help with the circulation in your legs and your knees. And you can either sit in half lotus position, which is the right leg over the left, or you can sit with the right in front of the left if half lotus doesn't feel comfortable for you. I personally actually feel a little bit unbalanced in half lotus position. So the Burmese position, where the right foot is in front of the left, is more comfortable for me. So that's what I use. However, you're going to have to experiment and see what creates the most comfort for your body, what sitting position is the best. Something that also helps is before your meditation practice or outside of meditation completely is a yoga practice. You can try doing stretches a little bit before, or you can do yoga on a relatively consistent basis. I've been doing yoga for about 7 or 8 years, and that has helped my flexibility and ability to sit in this position for longer periods of time without my body becoming a factor. So that's very helpful. Another thing is our clothing. So you want to have clothing that is relatively loose and allows for good circulation in your body. Again, it doesn't matter how you look, it matters more how you feel. And then finally, the way that you close your eyes. So when you close your eyes, you want it to be very soft, as if you were falling asleep. You don't want to squeeze your eyes shut. And a lot of times people will find that they have tension in their eyes, maybe because they're trying to force the creation of an image when they try visualization, for example. And or they can find themselves actually looking down at their center, believing that, or it's just a habit of the mind to look towards where you want to be. However, in meditation, we do not use our physical eyes. So in order to detach from using them, we can close our eyes softly and roll our eyes gently into the back of our head. If that feels comfortable for you, then go ahead and utilize that. It really helps me create a sabai, comfortable feeling in my eyes. So you are welcome to try that. And so here are 2 quotes on mind comfort that actually come from our abbot. And he says, for meditation practice, the faster you want it to be, the slower it becomes. But the slower you can allow it to be, the faster it becomes. This is talking about the expectations that we tend to set on meditation. So unlike other worldly practices, you cannot put in more effort or focus into meditation to achieve faster progress. And this goes against much of what we've done our entire lives. In order to see success, we try harder. However, in meditation, it's not that way. You must have the willingness, the drive to continually practice. However, when it comes time to sit, it's time to let go of that effort. It's time to allow the mind to come to a natural balance using the methods that you are provided with and figuring out what creates the most comfortable feeling in your own mind and allowing that process to unfold organically as opposed to allowing the ego to come into our meditation and try to force things into a state of stillness. That's not how it works. And the other quote is, we should prepare our mind to meditate for every session like it is the first session in our life. And this is referring to letting go of the past or comparisons that we have. Let's say yesterday we had a fantastic session when we came to the meditation center. We were our minds are very calm and our body was very comfortable. And then today we came and we're stressed because someone at work was giving us a hard time, our boss was yelling at us, our kids did this or that, and your back hurts, your neck hurts, your knees hurt, and everything is a mess. That's just the way it is sometimes. You know, like I said, our body and our mind comfort are going to fluctuate. So you want to prepare your mind like it is the first time to meditate. The first time that you've ever meditated, to allow you to have that fresh beginner's mind, free of expectations, free of comparisons, letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and simply letting go into the present moment. So there are 2 types of mind comfort that we will talk about. The first is emotion, and the second is the way that you place the mind in meditation. So as you start to move on down this path of spiritual development, as you start to develop your meditation practice, you really need to start working on maintaining positive emotion throughout the day. Now, this is, of course, easier said than done, and if you didn't have the meditation practice to supplement this, be very, very difficult. However, when we meditate, what we're doing is we're allowing our thoughts to slow down. Our typical thought patterns become slower, and we try to detach from them and observe them neutrally. And by doing this, we come to a better awareness of how our thoughts work. How does this thought lead to that emotion? Which thoughts come up frequently? And when we become aware of them as they arise, we don't have to follow their story so much. And therefore, we are not led to these negative emotions. To help illustrate this point, I'll share a story that's usually attributed to the Native American tradition. So an elder was talking to a child, and he says, "There are 2 wolves fighting in my heart. One is the wolf of anger, of revenge, of greed, and the embodiment of all the negative emotions inside of ourselves. And the other wolf is the wolf of compassion, the wolf of kindness, the wolf of patience, and the embodiment of all the positive emotions in our life. And the child asks, which wolf will win the fight? And the elder responds, the wolf that I feed. So when the wolf that embodies the negative emotion shows its face, we do not try to fight with it. We do not try to pretend like it doesn't exist. Instead, we as neutrally as possible, we observe the wolf. We observe the way that we observe its nature, and we don't identify with it. It's interesting in our language, we often don't think about our language because it's the medium through which we think and explain the world around us, both to ourselves and to others. So we hardly think about the way it's constructed and what it implies when we say, oh, I am becoming angry, or I am angry. The very language that we use implies a deep attachment and identification with the emotions that we experience. So instead of experiencing anger, we become anger. We are the anger. And this is a bad mental habit, and it's not true. If you really start to observe your emotions, you'll realize that you're not them because they are changing all the time. So as we start to meditate, we create somewhat of a buffer zone that allows us to take a step back whenever those negative emotions or negative situations happen in our life, and we can observe the anger or whatever it may be arising, and we don't have to identify with it. As we observe it, we will notice that the angry wolf will start to lose its power, and it will eventually come and lay down by our side. And as we start doing this more often, it opens up our mind to accept and to generate more positive emotions, some opportunities or impulses of kindness, of wholesome activities, of generosity. And as we take those opportunities, as we act through those emotions or those impulses that arise, they start to become more of our default mode of operation. And that is how we feed the positive wolf and allow it to take us through new life experiences and allow us to overcome negativities and allow us to avoid unnecessary suffering in our life. And that's something that all of us could really benefit from. So this is really what meditation can do for allowing you to control your emotions and maintain more positive emotion in your life. And for me, this was one of the most powerful things about meditation, is my ability to control my own emotions. I used to be a victim to my own anger, and when you operate through anger, it causes you to see the world around you in an unclear way. It causes you to create suffering for others and yourself unnecessarily. So when you can take a step back and observe and let go of that anger, then your life becomes astronomically better. So for me, this is one of the most wonderful things about meditation and how it can benefit your life. So moving on, another way to maintain positive emotion, or to allow your emotion to become more suitable for meditation practice, you can switch to meditation mode about 10 to 15 minutes before you sit. And if you already do this at the Georgia Meditation Center when you're stretching and everything, you can try to do this on the way to the center. And So when you're, try to leave a little bit early if it's possible, so you don't have to be in a rush. And if you happen to sit in traffic, which since you're in Atlanta, the possibility of that is about 100%, then you don't have to get so worked up about something that you know is going to be there. And you don't have to get so angry and allow your emotions to turn negative when someone, say, cuts you off on the road, and you can just let it go. So something good to do is maybe repeating the mantra as you're driving over, turning on some soft music, maybe some smooth jazz or some Inya. No death metal or hardcore rap. That might not be so conducive to a meditative mind state. So try your best to adjust your mind before your practice, and that will help you to drop towards the center more easily and come into stillness of mind quicker as you sit for meditation. Also, do your best to ignore inner experiences. Now, when inner experiences arise, things such as feeling expansive, feeling chills all over your body, seeing light, feeling like you're floating, dropping, spinning, anything. There's countless amount of experiences that you can come across in your meditation. You want to try to pretend like you're not interested. Of course, the first time that this happens to you, likely you're not going to be able to maintain that state because you get excited, and then you lose that stability of mind. However, as you continue to practice, it will become easier to ignore those experiences. So inner experiences are somewhat like you're driving down the road. Let's say you're coming from Blairsville to Atlanta, and you see a mile marker on the side of the road that says 44 miles until Atlanta. When you see that, you don't pull over the car and hop out and go hug the sign. What you do is you notice it from your peripherals. You see it, okay, I'm heading in the right direction, so I will continue on. It's the same way in meditation. When you have these inner experiences, understand that they are not the destination themselves. It's just a sign that you are headed the right way. So continue on calmly in the same way that you have been going. And it may take quite a while to get over the excitement, but as you practice more consistently, you will be able to do this with more ease. And then finally, placing the mind. So you want to place the mind at the center of your body as lightly as a feather that floats down to touch the surface of the water without breaking the surface. That's a very good comparison to the amount of ease that you want to place the mind at the center. Again, you don't want to force it. It's something that you place there, and finding the proper balance of comfort and mindfulness, which we will talk about in our next session, about how to find that 50-50 balance. And then once you keep it there calmly, then the inner experiences, the deepening of the stillness will come on its own accord. So that brings us to the end of today's session. Again, today we covered willingness and comfort. And next session we will talk about mindfulness, consistency, and observation, which are very crucial to your success in meditation. So be sure to tune in next time. Just to recap, for willingness, it is very important for you to clearly define your why power and then reconnect with it frequently. Maybe tape it up in your mirror or a prominent place so that you can see it every day and you can inspire yourself to practice, as well as surrounding yourself with people, places, and things that are going to create the proper environment for you to practice. And as well as comfort, we both have mind comfort and physical comfort of your body. Be content with wherever you are as you start out, and use the methods that we covered today in order to maximize both your bodily and your mind comfort and controlling your emotions throughout the day. I hope you have enjoyed what you've learned today, and hopefully you can implement it to see success in your meditation practice, as well as to create many benefits in your life. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.